evening and welcome to Irishwebtv. Thank you to Positive Age for the use of the studio here in Drumley, Cavan, and to Syra Broadband for the use of the broadband. Strange times, folks. We cannot get out and about like we like to, but we can bring folk from all over the world to your studio, to your sitting room, actually. And this evening, we're going to Bangor in County Down. Singer-songwriter, in the music business for many years. My guest this evening is Brendan Monaghan. Good evening, Brendan.
Good evening, Anya. It's great to be here.
Yes, you're in your sitting room and I'm in our studio, but we'll talk. Brendan, a singer-songwriter, and it's just difficult times for music and performing at the moment. How do you feel about that?
To start, Anya, it was very difficult, frustrating. As time went on, I dealt with it mentally. I now spend my time writing and rehearsing and getting prepared for when that big day comes, whatever that may be. As I said, to cancel and postponed several tours and shows overseas and at home. So all you can really do is hope and pray that things come back sooner rather than later, and you're looking at some bigger events maybe for next year. So yeah, it's very difficult, but again, it's, you know, you get up in the morning, you do what you do, and you go out for walks and stuff, and which you can do now, thankfully, and then you come back and work at your music, and yeah, you can get the day in rightly, but it's still frustrating.
And of course it is, Brendan, because there's no definite answer in the end. We don't know what the end is going to be. Will there be crowds? Will there be large? What size venues will be? When we'll get back to normal? We just don't know. So we all have to go with it. But to talk about you and your music, did you come from a musical family? Where did you get the music?
Yes, I would say on my mother's side, my uncles, they were fiddle players and singers, and my mother sang, so I think I get it from the Donegal side. Yes, I've always listened to music on the radio. I've always wanted, even in school, always wanted to write and perform, so I've been very, very fortunate. I'm always a struggling singer-songwriter, but I'm getting through, and I'm doing what I love, and it brings me to America, Canada, all over Europe, and obviously at home as well.
And obviously you've got many albums to your name.
Yes, well, I'm lucky enough to have several albums out on Brambis Records, a Swiss label. My latest album is called Unbroken. It's done really, really well for me, thankfully. Yes, my music is available on iTunes, Spotify, and the hard copies at my gigs or some of the record stores that are left, and you can order hard copies, of course, on Amazon and stuff. So the music's out there, and as a songwriter, I think it's imperative you get stuff out, and now is a good time for writing to get ready for my next album. And I'm going to try to not make it too depressing, because I'm always a hopeful songwriter.
And that's possibly the good thing that's coming out of this lockdown. You've plenty of time to sit down, get your thoughts and your ideas for your songs out there, and your practice. I spot your guitar there in the background. So what make of a guitar is that?
Yes, that's a Martin, and it's fantastic. I use it quite a lot. I also have a traveling guitar, which I fold up, which helps me when I'm touring. But yeah, I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, you showed it to me earlier. Literally, the neck of it bends up right onto the body. Amazing stuff. Yeah. I never saw that kind of a guitar before. Brilliant. You don't have to worry about the neck of it getting destroyed in travel, isn't that right?
It's fantastic, and it goes everywhere with me. But yes, I love it's a good guitar, of course, but I love the
Martin. Is the travel guitar, is it semi-acoustic as well?
Yes, it's actually called Voyager air guitar, and they were made in America by professional engineers or professional musicians, and I think they're probably really for professional musicians. You know, I think the price of them think that you would be no need to have one unless you were travelling, but they are good. They're very, very good.
So when you're on stage, Brendan, you're there singing your songs, and of course we know that somebody who has written their own songs, nobody can get the sentiment and the feeling of their songs across as good as themselves. But as you were saying, you're there, you're possibly, you're laid bare on the stage when you're on your own with a guitar.
Yes, especially the way I perform my albums are very well produced. I have a full band on there. Most of the songs anyway on the albums. On my shows, generally I just me and my guitar stripped bare, and sometimes I have a fiddle player, Al McLean, who is great. Generally I'm on my own. The good thing about it is you can talk about your songs and the intimacy of the audience, and then just strip down and play them. And as I said to you before, I think if the songs are interesting enough and good enough, they will carry. You know, but I would like, on my albums, I always like them really well produced, so people in other countries or at home can hear it really well produced for the radio and for the living rooms or whatever.
When you say you're stripped bare on the stage, literally in a semi-acoustic guitar, I guess, do you use any kind of loops and pedals and things like that?
No, it's too complicated.
You have to be good so to do that. That exposes you. You're very highly exposed in that circumstance.
Yes, you know, you can't really think about it too much because, you know, it's what you do, but I still get nervous. Well, I think that's good because it keeps you on your toes. And there's nothing to hide behind. There's your guitar and the microphone and you go for it.
Yeah, you're exposed. Do you, now I know you're so many years performing now, but do you still get nervous going on stage?
Yes, as I say, I think it's healthy. It's a healthy nervousness. Like there's a buzz, there's adrenaline. Depending, you know, whether it's a small show or bigger, I think it's good. The day that you become too complacent or you don't have nerves, I think you might slip a little bit. I don't think I'll ever change. It's my nature to be nervous at times, you know. Especially times like that when you're on your own.
Yeah, so what happens on a night that your voice just isn't good? Maybe you have the end of a cough or a bit of a head cold or something like that, and the voice doesn't come out the way you want to. What do you do in circumstances like that? Just asking for a friend.
I love that. You're saying if you're singing it doesn't come out the way you want it?
Yeah.
More or less. That should not happen for a professional musician.
But it does happen it does happen when you're singing. Sometimes you can sing too much.
Yes. All you can do is just do your best, you know, and there are times, maybe especially through nerves, when you're doing live radio or television or something, your mouth dries up. And honestly, I've been at it that long now. I just try to lift myself above it mentally. And if you have a frog in your throat or something, you just honestly, maybe it's not the answer you want, but you just try to rise above it, and then, you know, just try to get through it, and then maybe get a glass of water after the song.
So,
as you said, it happens with probably a lot of singers, but generally, I just, even if I'm suffering there, I just try to rise above it. I don't know.
Okay. I'm just going to ask you one more question about performing and singing. Like, how many gigs would you do in a row that is comfortable for your voice?
Well, yes, at the minute, none, of course.
But you can sing in the bathroom at the moment.
It depends, really, because at home in Ireland here, every weekend I'm out. And when you're on a tour, you can be playing most nights a week, like depending on how long the tour is, and maybe a day or two in between travelling.
That's hard going now.
There's times you're playing full tilt for several days. and you have to rest your voice.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the kind of songs that you write. I can feel from you sometimes there's something coming in there, a little bit spiritual perhaps, would I be right?
Yes. Well, a lot of my songs are they're from the heart, you know, they're in everyday life, and when I'm travelling you see people or you listen to people and you get ideas and you jot it down. But a lot of the songs are spiritual too, about my faith and about just life situations. The song that, the video you're going to show, 39 Days, that was written about a friend of mine who's an alcoholic. And I met him in Belfast several years ago. And he told me he'd been off the drink for 39 days. So I wrote the song for him, and he actually got to hear the original version of it. Sadly, he went back on the drink and he passed away, but that song has went all over the world with me. A lot of people can relate to it. It's really a big struggle with addiction. In his case, it was alcohol. So a lot of it is quite passionate. I do the odd light-hearted songs, but generally they're songs of hope.
You speak of your faith. You have a very deep faith. Where does that come from?
The faith, well, my father, my family, it came through my father, I would say. But even as a young boy, I mean, growing up, I sort of had dreams. I always loved the faith. Probably one stage that I wouldn't have minded being a priest. But life just takes you on, and I got involved in my music, and I ended up having a family and stuff. But I guess I carry the faith maybe through my music now. But yes, it gets me through life, and especially times like this. And the beauty of the internet now, everybody can go to mass, no excuse now, on your internet, all over the world, you know. But yes, it's just back to the faith thing. It's probably in me. It's hard to answer that, but probably came through my family, and I believe that there has to be something there, and I feel I know what it is. But yeah, it's great, and it's got me through some difficult times in my life.
Do you hope your songs mean the same thing to people who listen to them? That they get the same uplifting feeling you get from your faith? Do you hope your songs do that, or does it matter?
That's a good question, Anya. I'm certainly not pushing faith down anybody's throat. It just comes out. I write in a way that there's dual meanings to the songs. You know, it could be about your faith, or it could be about a situation. So if people want to home in on that, which lots of people have done, that's great. But they can also take another meaning out of it. So I certainly wouldn't want to preach to anybody. I'm not in a position to do that. But I think I've been told by many people, many folk, that you can hear the spiritualism in it. I think it's a fine balance.
So that makes your one-man show very intimate, actually, and interesting.
Yes, you're just on your own there with the acoustic guitar, and I'm not a particularly good guitarist or singer, but I think through what I do on stage or in the studio, through my songs, I feel it's, I think it's good enough for people to present to people, and thankfully it's carried me through my life, and it's kept me employed. Yeah.
Well, that's great that your music is helping you so much. Now, as life progresses and as we all get older, of course, taking the COVID-19 situation out of it, can you see yourself continuing to do this for as long as you can?
Yes, I don't know anything else, Anya. The beauty of being a songwriter is you can write for other people, and I have several people have recorded my songs. It's getting the big one, which you're always chasing that goal. And yes, you can earn money obviously through that, which I do. So that's probably as I get older and older, I'll always be writing and maybe cut down on the shows as time goes on. But yes, that's the beauty of writing. You're just sitting one day and you get an idea. You write something down and you get a guitar and you play along and you fit the words around it. It doesn't always come out the way you want it, but I've been doing it all my life, and it's a gift, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about having your nice show like that when you're in concert is that you can sit down and you talk about the meaning of your song and why you wrote the song. I myself know when I go to a concert or a show like that, that I really love when the person tells me where the song came from. I don't care if the song's crap, but the story behind it is great to hear. It really makes it interesting.
Yes, it does, yeah. It's, the good thing, I'm just going back to, the live performance, the beauty of especially an intimate or maybe a theatre setting, you can build a song up to people and the story behind it, and you talk about it, and then once you start singing it all makes sense to the people. And it's lovely to be able to sit here and write, ends up on a record, on an album, and then you go out and bring it around the world with you. So again, I feel very blessed.
Yeah.
And when you do interviews like this, you talk about things and it brings it home to you that you're actually doing this, because you take it for granted.
What kind of feedback do you get? Sorry, what kind of feedback do you get? After a show or whatever. What kind of feedback do you get from people after a show like that?
Well, it's generally, you go out into the foyer, maybe sell a few albums, and you meet people, and that's when you actually meet the public. It's generally, thankfully, it's positive, and you want people who come to see you, or if you're opening for someone, they maybe don't come to see you, but they get the chance to hear you. So sometimes you don't get the chance to talk to people, but when you do, they want to speak to you about your songs. It's really good getting feedback or getting a good review or a bit of airplay. Those things make it all worthwhile, I think.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that you, as you say, you open for or you support act for, you mentioned Bagatelle there, the great Bagatelle.
Yes. Well, over the years at home and overseas, I've played with quite a lot of big artists, but in the last few years I've been I've had a few openings. I've been opening a few times for Bagatelle, and they're great. They're a fantastic band, and it's a real opportunity because their shows are always full to the rafters, and I know from experience you go to see the main band, but you don't go on that long, so you don't want to sort of, if somebody hasn't heard of you before, you don't want overkill, so you get on for maybe 40 minutes or whatever, half an hour, and you give it your best shot, and they've always been very receptive and very encouraging, and then you can go back up the stage and sit back and watch Bagatelle perform. So I'm actually playing in the coming months with them in County Tyrone, I guess, if it goes ahead.
Yeah. Well, again, we're back to COVID, and it's on everybody's lips. It's frustrating for musicians, for all kind of artists, for anybody who does anything. Maybe frontline workers are the only people who are guaranteed their job, and that's just literally the way it is. But down the road, even when this epidemic or pandemic, as it is over, we're still not definite what the rules and regulations will be as regards concerts and crowds. Who many can, even at a wedding, how many people we can have at weddings and things like that. It's disheartening, especially for musicians. how do you feel it'll go, or what way would you like to go? You know, a lot of singers are sitting in their sitting rooms with their cameras in front of them and talking about their songs and singing their songs. But that's great, but it won't bring in the money. So you have to get back to some kind of normal life. Can you see the internet in any way for as a platform for your music?
It's as we talked about earlier, it's frustrating, and say we are on chartered waters and we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, and you just hope and pray that sooner rather than later you've got to get in, because you've got to make a living. So it's very, very difficult. I really don't see the way it's going to go, but I am a hopeful person, Anya, and I just hope that say sooner rather than later we get back to playing our live gigs, and you're out, and you can sell albums there, of course, and promote your music.
Yeah, but believe me,
shows like yours, of course, but TV and radio is a big help for us as well.
Yeah. As much as you are anxious to get out and play your music, people are as anxious to get out and get to a gig. Believe me, it's something everybody would like to do. Just once again, before we go, Brendan, can you tell us where people can get your music, or where they can look at your music or download your music?
Where you can get my music?
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't. Sorry.
Yeah, how people can log onto your music or download your music.
Sorry. Well, my music's on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Alexa. Get Alexa here, tell her to play my songs. I should have had a plug that. Alexa? No, it's not switched on. Alexa's great, you know. Playing songs by Brendan Monaghan and Amazon Music. You can get it all on the online digital formats. You can send away for hard copies. It's all out there on YouTube. There's videos. So there's plenty out there for everyone if they're interested.
Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about is 39 Days, your song, and the video of that song.
Well, the 39 Days is, I mentioned earlier, it's a song I wrote about my friend who sadly passed away. And it's a song of support for people with addictions in general. I sometimes, in performing, you feel a little guilty because thankfully I have no real bad addiction. But as a songwriter, you have to get into other people's shoes sometimes. And that song has done so well for me in the past, because I think a lot of people can relate to it. The version on this video is 39 Days 2020. I just updated it. I've remixed it and re-recorded it, and I made a new video for it. So again, it's a song close to my heart, and I thought, although I'm writing new stuff, I just thought it deserved to be out there on a video. So yeah, it's on YouTube at the minute, so people can find Brendan Monaghan 39 Days 2020.
Okay, Brendan, it was great talking to you. I can feel the spiritualism of you coming through in your music. We will play that video at the end. We're able to do that, aren't we, Brian? Yeah, we're able to play that video. We'll put it in post-production at the end. Once again, Brendan, I feel for musicians, I feel for artists, I feel for the unpredictability of your livelihood as from now. It's not a good time, but hopefully there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Keep your faith, as you say, and because people, as much as you want to play, people want to get out there and listen again. So thank you very much for talking to us on Irishwebtv this evening. It was great. I'm sorry I didn't get you to swipe out your guitar, the Martin there behind you, and sing a song, but we will have the video of the 39 days. And once again, Brendan, it was great talking to you, and I look forward to seeing you live sometime in the future. Thank you for talking to us on Irishwebtv. Thank you.
Thank you.